Dear me, our topics are getting a little bit on the personal side. Our topic this week, your greatest fear. In preparing for this topic, I kept thinking about the poet George Herbert, who said, and I paraphrase, that he wasn't afraid of death so much as he was afraid of illness, because illness would prevent him from doing the Lord's work. And in fact, he found a way around this by sort of accelerating into it. It's reported that at the end of his life, as he was literally dying, he was at the pulpit preaching and praying, so much so that one of his second-in-commands had to come along and say, "George, go lay down in the back. I'll take over the prayers from here." And he did, and died soon afterward. I find a lot of inspiration in that story, and I sympathize with it. I've been thinking about death in light of fear over the past few days, and realized to my astonishment that I am really not afraid of death anymore. It's an inevitability, and it's not something that I'm afraid of. I mean, I'm a little afraid of the pain that might come with death, but I'm much more afraid of illness, because illness will prevent me from doing the things that I need to be doing while I'm here. I found some ways around this by adopting a muscling through mindset, that I generally won't stop doing what I'm supposed to be doing unless I am vomiting, I have a high fever, or I have a wound that is gushing and a Band-Aid won't fix it, so I have to go to a doctor to get stitches or reattachment, which generally doesn't happen because I'm fairly safety conscious, and I get my flu shot every year, so the fever doesn't happen very often, which leads vomiting. And so out of all of existence, all of the possibilities in the universe, the thing that I am most afraid of is food poisoning. That can't be right. Well, anyway, out of all the things that I'm afraid of, there is a unifying theme that I've found. And I was talking to Lori about my anxieties the other day, and I mentioned something about self-confidence. She said, "Paul, you don't have a problem with self-confidence." And I realized, my gosh, she's right. I don't have a problem with self-confidence. I have a problem with confidence in external circumstances beyond my control, and I have a problem with confidence in other people. I was bullied a lot when I was a child, and I made some spectacularly bad relationship choices in my younger days. And as a result, I have a lot of trust issues. And I find that in my fears, the great fear that underlies all of them is the fear that I will do my absolute best and fail anyway. This series of experiences that built me in this way led me to be sort of an introvert, and I'm left to my own devices. I'm not a very good friend, and I have a lot of social anxiety. If Lori wants to go out and do something in the middle of the week, I might be inclined to say, "Look, I made a video on Sunday. Isn't that enough social interaction for a week?" But with fears, I find that the way to get through them is to accelerate into them, because otherwise you are succumbing to them, you are soaking in them. And so you have to accelerate into them and continue to go out and make friends and try and get hurt and fail and all of these things, because you don't really have another choice. Well, you do have another choice, to succumb to them. But life is to try and fail. And so you do it. You run right into your fear. So there you go. My greatest fear laid out for all of humankind in a video. Fantastic. How's that for working through a trust issue? Ta-ta.